Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is another paid request, this time for James. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for, I didn't even know this became a TV show, Percy Jackson and the Olympians, which became a 2023 series. Don't know how long it lasted. Because I know this is based on books. I never read the books. And then it became a movie, which I've gotten a sequel to. See, that's how unfamiliar I am with the source material. I had heard of the movies, I had seen the trailers, they never intrigued me. And it was that era where it's like Harry Potter was so successful, so anything remotely of the young adult novel, let's make that into a movie as well. So you had the Maze Runner, you had this one, and among other stuff. So I don't, like I say, if I haven't read the books, I haven't seen the movie, so I have no frame of reference. Whether this is faithful or not, you guys would have to let me know. As an episode of a show, didn't really care for it. Percy himself seems and sounds like a wuss. I get that he's a very young character, young kid. His voice seems to be breaking, or ready to break, every other sentence. So I don't know, does it seem like a character, an actor that would really care to see an ongoing story? And maybe it's not the character's fault, maybe it's much more written better. But just the casting, I'm not sure about this kid. It goes a bit where it's. I'm kind of surprised it being a show nowadays, streaming service. A lot of times they'd be very elongated of an episode, but this was only 37 minutes. Usually for this type of thing, it seems like be an hour or so because it's your pilot, it's your first episode, so they kind of want to put all the bells and whistles they can for a first impression. But here, it just fell flat. The whole thing just kind of fell flat, and I almost want to say rushed. Because you're bombarded with information of, well, when he was much younger, he would start seeing things. He would go on rooftops when he was in second grade or so, and a teacher had to grab him, and he's staring off into stuff. He would look out the window, and we see a vehicle, but he sees some other type of creature, like a giant hippo type of creature. If not a hippo, some other creature, like going down the street, and he would draw it. He was very close with his mom. He never knew his dad. He has a stepdad who's a jerk, of course. He's a jerkwad. Which I don't know why the mother puts up with this guy. It's even less it's more confusing to me. He has a friend named Grover, and not the Muppet. Well, I guess he's more Sesame Street, actually. Grover. But it's a kid who has a card of a Minotaur who's wearing tighty-whitey underwear. And that was my first thing going, there's a Minotaur on this card wearing tighty-whitey underwear. I'm like, is this a furry card? Is this furry art? Furry fan art? What? Look at that bulge! Look at that package! The underwear don't quite hide it. I don't know. It's just a very weird choice. But that does come back later, believe it or not. So again, the kid keeps seeing things. He's bullied. He has his friend named Grover. There's this teacher named Mrs. Dodds. They go to this exhibition for a class trip where they're looking at statues and they're looking at stuff of the Olympians. When they're out in public, all the kids, this girl that he's bullying him, tries to pick on him some more. he's going to push her but doesn't, but some force pushes her into this fountain, and she blames it on him, even though he technically didn't physically push her. And then this teacher, Mrs. Dodds, she turns to this creature no one else notices but him, where she kind of walks and she morphs, where she has wings and she has a very dark outfit on. Tries to kill the kid, but the kid has this pen that this old guy had given him, this old guy in a wheelchair, and the pen just automatically turns to a sword. And he doesn't do anything, he doesn't know what's going on, and the pen becomes a sword and impales the woman. And the bitch fell apart in his hands. And then he's confused. And it's also one of those things that even though it's a streaming service, it cuts to black. I guess for the commercials on Disney Plus. I don't have Disney Plus, so I saw this somewhere else. You do the math on that. Just screw Disney. I'm not paying for Disney Plus. I don't want Disney. I don't like Disney. I'm not supporting Disney. If I gotta watch it, I will watch it somewhere else. Trust me, I can find a way. So it'll cut to black, kind of like back to the day when you would see an old TV show and it'll cut to black. But it's weird that they do that even when there's no ads. So it just, when you watch it nowadays, it just looks awkward. A scene just cut into black. And the kid gets home. He just tipped out of school, which is what happened to the girl in the fountain. He talks with his mom. The stepdad's a jerk off. You know, he's sitting on the chair, being lazy, watching a big-ass big screen TV, which I'm jealous of. Doing nothing, talking spit of shit. The guy should be kicked in the face just for his facial hair. But the mom comforts him. I like the actress that played the mom. I thought she was the best in the episode. She just had a nice motherly quality. Tells she cares for her son. Listens to her kid. He says some stuff is happening. She goes, me and you don't go on a trip. Argues with the stepdad and goes, listen, I will come back and I will get the sandwich, but if you don't behave. And the guy's like, but I hate watching the Knicks alone. You won't be. Can you please tell him to put peppers in my sandwich? I guess it's supposed to be humor or comedy, but it fell flatter than a pancake. I didn't give a crap. I didn't think it was funny. Thought the guy was just annoying, irritating, needed a punch in the face. So the kid and the mom get to where they need to go, and the mom starts telling the kid that his father was a god, and she's a human, and you're like demigod, or a half. Oh, I almost said half-breed, but they don't say that. Half-blood. Although half-breed is probably more of a better description, but maybe they feel half-breed is, I don't know, too negative. I mean, that's what it would be, but you were breeding, and you're half and half, but I just do it because there's people that use that as a knock against people. So he's a half-blood, okay? And she talks about how half-bloods are not safe, and now they don't be chasing after you. The friend Grover comes by there. You find out Grover is actually a creature where the boy is human up here, but has goat's legs. Half man, half goat. So he's that. Granted, it would be more interesting if he reveals the true self and the top half was goat. But I guess this would be cheaper. So the bottom half is goat. And he's supposed to go with Grover to this camp, which will be Sanctuary. They get in a car. There's a Minotaur wearing tighty-whitey underwear that attacks them. Crashes the car. the mom tells the kid, you gotta go with Grover to this camp. I just the mom to give time for the kid. Which doesn't even matter because she stays there. She does the thing. Oh, it's a minotaur, a bull. So she has some red. Hey, come on, come on. Ole. She doesn't say that, but that's the idea. Like a bullfighter. It grabs her and then she disintegrates. I still don't know how she died. At the end, because the minotaur grabbed her. And the kid's like, Mom! And she looks and she disintegrates like Thanos did a snap. Crackle and pop. So I guess I said, well, she has to die, but I don't know. They didn't want to be too violent. They didn't want to be too. I didn't. What power does the Minotaur have to grab someone and then they disintegrate? Again, like a Thanos snap. Unless that's supposed to be something else where a god, his dad saved her and teleported her, and we'll see her later. I don't know. It was just a very weird bit of business. I guess that stepdad ain't gonna get a sandwich with peppers on it. He's gonna have to watch the next game alone. Oh well. But it's all for naught because the kid still ends up fighting the Minotaur. You think you'd okay the mom gives the kid enough time to escape because he's not ready to fight this beast, because if he tried to fight this beast, he would die, so the mom self-sacrificed. But no. The pen becomes a sword again, he rushes it, hits in the leg. The Minotaur hits the sword, it flies away. He dodges some attacks, gets on top of it, has it ram into a tree, sees that a horn is loose, breaks it, and then the beast dies. So he could have done that with the mom and Grover there. So the mom's self-sacrifice was really for nothing. I just to give him the drive to fight. But I mean, if the mom was in danger, that would give you think the same drive, but whatever. And the fight with the Minotaur, it was awful CGI. Very, very terrible CGI. Garbage. I mean, I've seen CG from the 90s look better. Now, granted, you say this is a TV show, this is the episode TV show, so it's not fair. Hell, I mean, there was a Minotaur in Your Highness. I know it's a movie, but that was done practically. It's one of the aspects I appreciated. And the tidy whities, I guess they put that on him to get it out of the fact of, well, if he doesn't, how would you explain he has no dick? I mean, just don't make one, and it's a creature. It's a fantastical creature. Just how it is. Or just, I don't know, have it be, like, I don't know, maybe I had a pair of pants. I would think it'd be like the Incredible Hulk, but I mean, that would be less goofy. That'd be like the Incredible Hulk. Instead of wearing his pants, he just comes out in tighty-whitey underwear. Would you want the Incredible Hulk in tighty-whitey underwear? Or do you want him in his pants, his trousers? I think people would choose the pants. I think that could have the same thing. It was here, I guess, as a throwaway joke. And holy shit, he really does have tighty-whiteys on. So again, the lead kid, I'm not really sold on him and his performance. Grover, not sure about his character. He's going to be the sidekick, but he's also going to be supposedly the support system and protector, even though he did nothing to protect Percy during the Minotaur fight. He just was there on his ass, playing with his hooves. I don't know what he was doing. No, don't do it. And then Percy killed the creature, so shows how much Grover knows. Red Grover, go over there and bend over. Because that's all you useful for. For this Minotaur to go up his, take his whatever out of his underwear and into your hairy ass. I don't know. Might as well. like I said, I'm not familiar with the source material, so I have no frame of reference. The character finding out that they're much more special than they thought they were before, and they have a lineage. That's been, I mean, I've seen that done in countless TV shows and movies, so it's nothing too original as an outsider to this whole thing. The action is mainly the car chase with some dodgy CGI and the fight with the Minotaur with even worse, horrible CGI. Oh, you have the old guy who in the wheelchair seems like a black Professor X. I just get the idea at the very end that he's another Phantasmo character. He's going to have his human body, but his human face and upper body, but the rest is going to be a horse. I forget what that type of creature is. I used to know it because I love Hercules the Legendary Journeys, and that's what made me go, I'll just go watch Hercules the Legendary Journeys if I want to watch that with Kevin Sorbo. I mean, that's a character that's half human, half god. Mother was human, his father was a god, goes on these journeys to fight. I know there's a young Hercules TV show with Ryan Gosling as Hercules, believe it or not. Which I would ask him about that, because that'd be interesting to hear about. Hey, if people are gung-ho and they're much more knowledgeable on the books and the movies, they'd probably be the better guy or better gal to explain to you the ups and downs of this. It just felt like the typical plot, ho-hum special effects in the third act, a lead that wasn't impressive, and a story that just felt like a typical, you know, there's many films that have that typical journey for a character, so it's not like that's automatically a bad point against it, but on first impression, it just, like I said, fell flat and didn't really do anything that would muster me ever wanting to. If it's a paid request, I'll check the rest out, but on my own, no. But again, maybe if you're a diehard fan of the books or the movies, maybe this would be more your cup of tea. So that said, thanks for watching, take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.